welcome to Bricks and Sprues. I'm Keith, your host. In this video, we are going to work on assembling the shuttle and engineering bays, getting the final assembly done, and hopefully light block testing to see if anything needs to be done. To start, I need to install some clear pieces in here before I even attempt to mount this. In the previous video, I'd mentioned I was going to paint this clear red, which I had, and after I looked at the piece, because this is red, didn't make sense to have the lights red. So, and I looked at another video, and some other people, these are showing as white, that way they show up better. So I will be leaving them white. I did remove all the paint using IPA. So let's get down to business, and I will install these clear pieces using some Gator's Grip glue as a adhesive. Don't want to use the Tamiya Thin because it will craze the lights and haze them up. I don't want that to happen. So we will be using regular white glue to get these installed. We don't need much, just need to make sure there's enough that is able to let this adhere. So we'll make sure those, here's this piece. We will let that sit for a little while. And then I need to clip off part number 105 to insert there. There's two of those. The only part here that I really care about not damaging is the little nub that will insert there. No need to clean these up because they are going to be on the inside and will not be seen. The only little bit that you're going to be able to even see is there's a little nub that will stick through. Oop. So I need to get a little bit more glue put to the top. And I just use a toothpick to put little dabs of glue. So there's that. Let me get my little picking tool and see if that'll help get these placed. And my picking tool won't even pick it up. So looks like I might not even need glue, but I will just use it as a safety precaution to help leave it adhere. So those two pieces are installed. So the next thing I need to do is some soldering here, because I need to get these lights hooked up to this LED strip. Since they run off the same power, I'll have to figure out the length of wire that I need. So I will be back. All right, I'm back. Hey, set up here for some soldering. I need to get the two wires from the red LED strip that is part of the front of the engineering bay soldered to this white LED strip, as they will run off the same power based off the Tenacontrols wiring diagram. So I've pre-tinned these two wires. Little tip I was told is need to scrape this up to get the solder to stick better. I was having trouble with that before, and learned this from Canadian Starships. He provided that little tidbit. I do want to pre-tin that, so I will take a little bit of flux, get some flux put on there. See if it'll get on there. Get on there. Come on. Doesn't want to work well. Alright, so I do want to pre-tin this. Before that, pre-tinning always helps get stuff. Almost there. There we go. Alright, we're set up for pre-tinning. These strips have plus and minus marked on them, so you know which wires to put. As you can see, there's a plus on this side and a minus on that side. So this is the easy part now. Get a little bit of flux or solder on my soldering iron. Connect. Need to shrink this down a little bit. Where's my cutters? There we go. Clip that down. There. So those are good. Those are soldered. Now, the big thing is I need to bring over my power supply, test to make sure that they still work. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm set up to run the light test, have my power supply over here. It's all turned off, so we're good to go. Just hook up the negative lead to the negative wire, hook up your positive to the positive. Power supply on. Always good to double check, triple check, quadruple check. Make sure your lights always work. There, the red ones are working. There we go with the white. Everything looks good. So, what I'm gonna do at this point is I need to work on getting these installed and all that good stuff. But I'm happy with that. All the lights and everything works. And with that, I will clean this up and move on to where I am going to mount the shuttle bay interior to the rear facade of the shuttle bay and work on that. I will be back. All right, I'm back. Got to do some soldering here. Got to put some couple white SMDs on the side here by my thumb so we can get a good light coming out of that opening there. So gonna be soldering some SMDs. These is an 0805 SMD, very tiny. Easiest way to know which side the negative is see the little tail coming off the line that goes all the way across. The little tail indicates that this is the negative end. So, easy way to remember that. Got to get my tweezers here so I can get it in place to hold so I can solder. Come on. Very tiny, very, very tiny. So we'll start. Now it's hard to see there, but I have the negative side on here. Flux is your friend. Just put a little bit on the side here. Get the soldering iron. You have to be very careful with these. You don't want to hold the heat on there too much because you will burn the light out. So we just want to get a little glob. Touch. And there. See, there's a nice little blob of solder there. That's all you need to do. So, get my negative wire. We're going to pre-tin the wire as well. So I put some flux on there. Get some pre-tinning done on that. So now we'll get that turned around for a better positioning. Get some solder on the tip of the iron. So again, just a quick touch because you don't want to leave too much heat. There we go. Took a little bit, but it's on there. So now, do this a little easier. Move the wire into the tweezers. And we'll do the positive side now. Do the same thing. A little bit of flux. Helps get the solder to flow. There we go. Again, just a quick little touch there. Get a nice little blob. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll pre-tin, get some flux on the end of the wire. Some solder on tip of the iron. Sorry, off camera there. And we will pre-tin the wire, which will help there we go. Got to reposition this here. It's not working out very well. Let me get this back this way. There we go. Get it setting up in the air a little bit. Just rest your wire there. There we go. And we have the wire solders onto the SMD. I'll go give it a test, make sure everything works. Clip the tails off so we don't get any shorts. And I will be back in a little bit. Hey, I'm back again. Being that we're running 9 volts power supply on this, white LEDs are only rated for 3 to 3.5 volts front forward voltage. So if I try to push 9 through these, they will blow out. So I need to add a resistor in to these so I can run this at 9 volts. I've got this ready to pre-tin the resistor. And these don't matter what side they go on. You can do positive or negative. All you do is splice the line and all that fun stuff. I've already cut the wire. My positive wire on these. So we will, there is our resistor, and I will, there we go, quick touch, it's on. And before I put the other side on, I will clip the tail off. And get this turned around so I can add we can, where are we? There we go. Zoomed way in, so I'm having a hard time. So there we go. There we go. And we will get this side ready. Quick. And that is done. Now, before I install these, I will plug these in to my power supply and let them run for 24 hours. Because I don't want to get these in, and if they're going to fail, they typically will fail within the first 24 hours. So I am going to go and hook these up and let them run. I will be back. And we're back. Hey everyone, finally got the engineering bay and shuttle bay completed. The pods have been mounted on the sides. They're going to be there for good. All the lights work. I'll put the shuttles in later once I get it mounted on the ship and all that good stuff. Got some touch up to do, but these are done. We'll show you the lights here. So let me get everything hooked up to my power supply. And we will do a slight demo of the lights. Need to make sure I know which one I'm doing because there are, here we go, this guy. Because the lights that are on the sides of the shuttle, the pods there, these lights, I'm not hooking up because they are not resistored. They'll have to come through the board. So, but this is good for all the, let me get the, give me 1 second. Let me turn the backlight out. Here we go. There's the front of the engineering bay all lit up. Kind of lights, the camera blows out the lights. It's not as bad as what it looks like on the camera. And here's the rear. Same thing. Lights aren't as bad. Camera's blowing everything out, but everything is lit up nicely. Did not want to put these on because they will blow. They aren't hooked up to the board, so they're not resistored. But with that, one thing to note when wiring a big control like this, where you got tons of wires, put tape around the wires, label them like for what I'm doing with the Tenacontrols. Each wire goes to a specific spot on the boards, so I labeled it with the color and what connector it goes to. The lights for the inside the shuttle bay, they're just going to go straight to power. I don't have those labeled because they'll just fall through into regular this straight power. So resistors are in line on those sets. So with that, we're calling the engineering and shuttle bay complete. So probably be moving on to the spoon and the cobra head next. So until next time, bicycle.